We're going to paint the drone parts that I took apart the other night. I got my primer right here, and after we prime it, I've already sanded it down. I used just some medium coarse sandpaper, and after all this kind of dries, then we'll throw some paint on it and then throw some clear on it. It's kind of cold outside, so I got a heat lamp right over the parts so that it'll be a little bit warm, and maybe it'll dry up a little bit quicker. Alright, so without further ado, let's throw on some primer. You're going to want to do a little light coat, especially since it's so cold outside. So you see how far away I'm spraying it from. Just going to dust it on there. Notice how whenever I'm spraying, I'm starting at the end and working my way down. So that's the first coat. We're going to let that dry for a little bit, and then come back to it when it's all dry. I'm going to lower the light a little bit more on top of it so that it'll be closer to the paint. You don't want to get the paint too hot because it'll scald the paint and it'll like bubble up, but it's not going to hurt it because it's like 40 degrees outside and that light ain't really too hot, but it's about 60 or so degrees right in here. I have a heat gun I was going to use for this video, but in true fashion, it got left outside in the rain and it doesn't seem to want to work right now. It has like an electrical fire smell to it whenever I cut it on. But yeah, we'll come back in about 30 minutes or so to see where it's dried, and then we'll throw another coat on it and wait for that to dry, and then we'll sand it a little bit, just a little bit. I don't really care how well it looks, but I don't want it to look completely hideous. So I kind of do want it, and I really do want to have that deep, vibrant yellow that we're going to paint it. So we're probably going to throw a lot of clear on it, because I'm not losing this thing in the woods again. Alright. Alright, so I painted primer on it, done sanded it down. And it's finally dry. A simple way to know if your stuff is dried is the surface that you're painting it on, just take your finger and press down a little bit and rub it. And if your finger comes out clean, like mine is, then you know it's dry. So this is the paint, this little cheap paint, Tractor Supply. Burger, you gonna help me paint? I thought I was up here thinking that this is a treat. So, gonna shake this up. I'm going to flip all this back over from where I painted it. Primer all the way around. Because really you're only going to see kind of the outside. But I'm going to end up painting all of it. You want to shake it up until you can just stir it. And you can hear that ball rattle. Alright. I started like that to bust your ass. What?
You out here painting on his drone?
Woo! Here, boy! dust it.
Yeah, Rick. I'm gonna shut the door, okay?
Yep.
Me and Mama's gonna go out when you're calling.
Alright. I'm just gonna do a light dust from all angles. Let that dry a little bit, and then come back to it. Yeah, I got about 50% coverage right now, but it should look pretty good whenever I finish. But dang, it's having a hard time focusing. There it is. Now y'all can see it. Alright, so me and my little brother are gonna go get some gas, and when we come back, it might be ready to paint the other side. I'm gonna lower this light just a little bit more and scoot it over. Like I said, you don't want to scorch it, but in weather like this, it's really not gonna hurt nothing. Alright. We'll be back in about 30 minutes to an hour to do the second coat, and should be good. Okay guys, so last night I was painting. I did 3 coats or so. 3 coats or so of the color, and I was gonna leave it outside in the garage with a heat lamp over it, but my dad, he was like, we have a little Boston Terrier in there, and anything that's not a chew toy, he wants to chew up to little pieces. So I had it up on that trash can, but he was still scared that he was gonna get to it. So I ended up bringing them inside because I didn't want dew falling down on them. And if I would have brought them upstairs in the garage, we got some birds up there, so they might have, pooped on them. So I didn't sleep in my room last night because I had that hair dryer blowing on these 2x4s. They're 1x6s that are out there. That's where I had the pieces. Had them propped up right here on this bench, and I had this right here, and the blow dryer plugged in right there. Came all the way around here, went through here, and moved around. So yeah, had windows open. I cracked them this morning just cause I didn't really want like a lot of insects and crap coming into my room, cause I'm petrified of spiders. So yeah, we're not gonna go in the garage and clear coat them. We're just gonna do it on my toolbox, because whenever you have a little Boston Terrier, they're kind of heck, and he's spoiled rotten, so he does what he wants when he wants, and there's no, controlling him, no matter what you do. I done popped his nose, Dad's done popped his nose, everybody's done, got fed up with him, but he thinks he's the boss. Whatever. My little brother's the only one that really has literally punished him to where he is actually really upset. He was pretty upset whenever Dad got on his little butt, but whenever John gets on your butt, it was heck. And John got in trouble. He wasn't like hitting the dog or anything. He was just yelling at him. And poor Ruru, everybody feels sorry for him. So these are the pieces. I think they turned out, decent for the most part. I think if they get lost in the woods again, it'll be kind of fairly easy to find. The paint that I'm using is this clear coat. I used it with my RX-8 whenever I was painting my wheels. Oh. Looked real good, turned out real good. I mean, it was it's pretty nice. There's a little turd himself right there. Oh man. So this is like the clear coat spot. I don't know if you can see all those markings and stuff. But oh hush up! If you'd come to me when I tell you to, you would be out right now. But you don't like to come to me, so I can't let you out because you'll go somewhere that you're not allowed to go. So this clear coat comes in two different types. Make sure you get the type that's got like the little blue nozzle, because if you don't, it sprays really crappy. And we're just going to clear them up real good. I'll put about 3 or so coats of clear on there, and it should turn out looking pretty good. Alright, that's pretty heavy on the clear. Yeah, you know how whenever you've been working on something you're just ready to get done with it, so you just kind of rush through it. Don't know how well it's gonna look, but I think I'll be able to spot that. I think I'll be able to spot that if it ever gets lost again. Today is also the second to last day I'm gonna have the Chevy, hopefully. And oh my god. Yeah, hopefully I'll get rid of the Chevy soon. So tomorrow, probably gonna do a review of the Chevy itself and see where all that takes me. But for now, let me get something to eat. I'm hungry.